great sign is a surefire way to get people through the door. At Impact Signs, Awnings, Wraps, we specialize in creating beautiful signs that capture attention and draw people in. Whether you're a business, school, church, bank, hospital, or event venue, we have the perfect sign solution for you. We make the process simple. From design to manufacturing to installation, our team handles it all. The right sign helps you stand out and attract more customers, so you want to get it right. Impact Signs, Awnings, Wraps. Hashtag any sign, anywhere.
Welcome back. This is our first, I guess not at the track live, Knoxville Nights presented by Impact Signs, Awnings, and Wraps. I'm one of your hosts, Josh Gerlach, here back again with Cade and Blake. Boys, it's over. The best 2 weeks of the year is over, but it was a wild couple weeks at the 360 Nationals and the NOS Energy Drink Knoxville Nationals presented by Casey's, where our guy Ryan Timms, he led wire to wire and got a very popular win over Rico Abreu and David Gravel. We had our 4 live shows on the Dirt Vision stage throughout the week, which we are very thankful for. We saw a lot of you guys on the grounds and then also online on our streams here on our YouTube and our Facebook pages. Thank you very much for that. I know it meant a lot to all 3 of us guys to see the support from you guys. So if you're watching now as well, make sure you hit like and subscribe, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. What'd you guys think of the week? It was pretty fun, huh?
Yeah. Go ahead, Blake.
Yeah. I thought it was great. I mean, it's unbelievable how quick time flies. Like I got there the Wednesday, just as 360 Nationals, the day before 360 Nationals started, and Tony and I went and ate lunch, and then I was like, wow, this is nice. This is gonna be fun. And then boom, we're done. I mean, just like that. It is unbelievable how quick time flies, and you know, the hubbub around the town, and then just like that, everybody's gone. And I was texting somebody yesterday when I got home. I'm like, man, you're just kind of depressed. Like I was unpacking all my stuff. I'm like, man, this is just weird. You're around people all the time, and now you're just back to work, and you just keep rolling. But man, what a fun 2 weeks. I hope a lot of people enjoyed it that came into town. I mean, we talked to so many people. I know the 3 of us, even individually, were stopped by so many people, and we could go days and days explaining that and those stories. But yeah, it was awesome. Really fun couple weeks. I'm glad the weather held off for us to be able to have it all done.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely busy. Little stressful for me doing, doing the photography stuff, and it was some late nights and a couple early mornings. But yeah, it was all in all a good week. And yeah, depression was real yesterday.
That's for sure. And Kate, being in Knoxville, you see how quickly that place empties out. It looks
quick.
like a ghost town after seeing the streets lined with people nonstop. It was cool. Also, I know we did a quick little video, but Cade, you ran a cool Knoxville Nights paint scheme. I think it was the best appearing one, but you know,
coming back strong next year.
We're going to come back strong.
You're coming back way stronger next year. They don't
with
even
a vengeance.
Yeah, we are winning that competition next year.
You are damn right. So yeah, that was cool. Really cool to see our colors on your car going in circles around the Knoxville Raceway. And also, before we jump into everything like normal, make sure you follow Knoxville Nights. We're all over the place. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Knoxville Nights, and then Knoxville Nights with no O on Twitter. And then also, like I said before, subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast apps. I know we're live. Don't usually do this, but we will have the audio up as well as quickly as we can. So we got 4 races to recap, boys, and then some other thoughts as well. Blake, do you want to go ahead and kick us off running through the recap of the night on Saturday?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just making sure I shared out what we were doing, so that way we have it. And
a little bit different flow than normal, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so we don't have it written down, but we started early. For Saturday night. The rain, we just didn't know what it was going to do. I'm going to come out and say the meteorologist of the state of Iowa botched the whole weekend. I mean, I hate
so did meteorologist Blake Walker on Friday night too. You were very pessimistic.
Man, I put all faith in meteorologists. It did not look good. I mean, it didn't. It didn't look good for Saturday, and then it didn't look good for Sunday. And what happened? We didn't really get any rain. I don't even know how much rain Knoxville got on Sunday. Maybe not even an inch. But, man, they just completely missed the mark, which is great for us. But, boy, I still feel like give credit to Knoxville for being prepared for that situation. They did that Marion County, emergency service thing. That was really cool. So we started at 6 o'clock. We were going to start at 5, and then we just pushed it back for really no reason. Felt like we could have started at 5, but we started at 6 o'clock, and no E-Main. So did anybody get the E-Main trophy?
I don't know.
I
Cade,
think
you have to
so.
run to the track, Cade, see if it's still sitting in the.
I mean, Hunter
village.
Schoenberg, B-Walk had a tweet out. He's like, Hunter Schoenberg's crew is asking. They're on the poll of the E-Main. They were. Did they get the trophy? Like, how does that work out?
Somebody should.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, they're nice trophies.
They are very nice.
They're really nice trophies. So I don't know, but the E-Main was scratched. Tanner Holmes started on the pole of the D-Main and led the whole way. Logan Julian appeared to make contact with Matt Jewell, and then he cut down his right front tire, and then that sent Matt Jewell tumbling. I thought Logan jumped the restart early. I thought he passed before the cone. They didn't call anything. But there was a little bit of contact there, and then Matt Jewell goes flipping, and Matt Vanderveer just barely gets him in the tire. Didn't get him in the tail tank, but tough week for those two. I mean, just overall, Matt Vanderveer tore up a couple race cars, and then, you hate to see that for Matt Jewell. Fun-looking car for Matt Jewell, but Cade, the track was very treacherous. I mean, we knew when there wasn't going to be many cars out on the racetrack. There was like one lane, and that was it. And we saw that later with Brock Zierfoss getting over the cushion. I mean, there's not a lot of room. You had to make stuff happen.
No, and it was honestly really weird because it had, like, the bottom was really juiced up. Like, you almost couldn't run it in that, like, first main because it was still kind of soupy, and the top was already starting to lip up there. And then, like, the middle was gut slick, so you knew it was going to shape up good for later. But, yeah, like you said, like with Brock, it just got curved up really tall, really fast, and like you said, it was really dangerous.
And it was interesting. Did you guys hear Matt Jewell talking about how he was kind of trying to race for that first non-transfer spot
he
to
knew,
get
he knew the trunk bar. Yeah, he
Yeah.
knew the trunk bar thing, and he wasn't even thinking about the top 6. He was like, I wanted 7th. And I'm like, hey.
So that was interesting. I wasn't quite sure if people were actually going for that. I mean, I get it. It was what, $1,600, I think, $1,300 or $1,600.
It was
Can't recall off the top of my head, but
it was a good chunk of money.
yeah, it did suck because that was a nice looking car. I thought that was pretty sweet with the different kind of color change in there and the kaboom on it. But yeah, Matt Vanderveer too. He had a rough week. He was crashed before he could even get to qualifying on his prelim night, and he's got his own battles going on outside of racing too. So we wish him the best. But it was good to see both those guys be able to walk away from that.
I think his merch sold well, though. I know they weren't really prepared, and they got merch printed like last second. It was at the IRA trailer, so.
Cool.
Yeah, cool to see Matt Vanderveer here. Obviously not the week he was looking for. Tanner Holmes moved on. Danny Sams III, Landon Crawley, Erta Jeniton, Jack Dover, and Jake Buback all transferred to the C main. The C main, it was Sawyer Phillips who led all the way until lap 9. When Jack Dover brought out the caution, he broke in turn 4. If you remember, he caused a caution earlier. He stopped, and one of the World of Outlaws workers came over and gave him they were trying to make sure. They're like, is the steering okay? And the steering seemed to be fine. Clearly wasn't. I don't know. Cade, is that one of those things that Jack, once he ended up in the wall, he's just kind of like, man, we probably just could have pulled it in.
Yeah, but it's the Nationals. I mean, what?
You gotta try it.
You don't really want to pull in and not. I mean, I don't know how much the money difference was for that, and obviously he kind of ended up finishing back there anyway. But yeah, people do some interesting things at the Nationals and do some stuff they wouldn't normally do.
Drivers would never do such a thing, Cade.
I especially would never.
Yeah, for sure.
Kerry Madsen got around Sawyer Phillips on the restart and drove off to the win. Justin Sanders challenged Lucas Wolf but could not get by, so Justin Sanders' night ends in the C. I just want to touch on Justin Sanders. I thought he did great for literally just being thrown into the car. I think watch out for this West Coast swing. It sounds like he's going to be in the car for just a little bit longer, but it sure feels like Aaron's pushing to get back. But Justin, look out in that 87 car on the West Coast. For his limited time in the seat at Knoxville and in that car, I think Sanders did just what he was asked.
Yeah, for sure. Him and Aaron drive a lot alike, so I think it was a pretty easy transition. And it's hard to fill shoes like the ones that Aaron Reitzel has on.
Yeah, and we talked about it, I think, with pretty much every guest, I think maybe besides Jack, about how tough it is to get into a new car and really try to acclimate yourself right away. And trying to do that at the biggest race of the year for you is that's probably a lot of pressure. And I'm sure he put a lot of pressure on himself to do well, because you also know how well the 87 has gotten around Knoxville over the last few years. And Yeah, I mean, I think as he gets more comfortable and gets out to tracks where he has a lot of, success, he has had a lot of success in the past. He could definitely be one to watch out for, to maybe rip off a couple wins out there.
Before I talk about the B, most of the B was in the daytime as well. Did it not feel weird to y'all? Like,
it was very weird.
Yeah, it was really weird.
It didn't feel like the Nationals, kind of. Like, it felt like we were racing. I don't know. It's usually the B main's full nighttime. And the feature did get full night. I was kind of worried about that. I'm like, man, are we going to start this feature while the sun's still creeped out? Now, granted, it was very overcast. Like, it looked like it was going to rain. But yeah,
I think it was just as the crowd, like you usually have the building up of the crowd, like around that time when we were actually racing the B main. So you kind of just had a little bit, you normally have a little bit more time to just let the buzz build. And it was just kind of like, boom, we're going. And by the time
ceremonies were like right after the first hot laps, we're like, all right, here. And it's like, okay.
And by the time I feel like the B was over, then it really did start to feel like Nationals, because you kind of had the pomp and circumstance happen, especially with, the driver intros and everything. And then it was like, we're definitely here. It's go time.
Yeah. Chris Windham got the early jump in the B main over Brent Marks, James McFadden, and Jack Anderson. They were battling like crazy. I mean, Jack was giving it his all up against James McFadden. There was a red flag. Kelby Watt it looked like something broke maybe on the 1K, or just got in the fluff and then just took a nasty ride. Thank goodness that we built that fence higher than it was, because he caught the very top of the fence and took a nasty ride. Again, it's that cushion. That cushion in 3 and 4 was just nasty to those guys in those B mains.
And he said it in his interview too.
Yeah. Sign of things to come. And Cade, you can talk about this a little bit more. Like we saw with Brock Zierfoss as well. I know we're about to get to that. It just looked like kind of what you were touching on. It was real hard in the middle, which really slicked it off, but you still had a lot of grip on the bottom, and it was still wet. Like the cushion was still very wet and I guess dense, if you will. Like, because you could just see once you got up over that, it just would dig right in and just send you for a ride.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to run it when it's like that. And we're talking inches, and you're doing what Kelby and what we end up talking about Zierfoss doing. Zierfoss's was a little bit different. He had a little bit different circumstance, but I think Kelby, like he said it in his interview, he pretty much just got over it and it sucked him in, and he was just kind of along for the ride.
Yeah, we didn't really have a replay of it, but I wonder if it really was kind of just the same thing that happened with Brock, just like what you said there, Cade.
I will give a lot of credit to Brock. Very good speed. I mean, last year he was one spot out of the transfer, and this year he was in it. I mean, he was really there with Jack. And they never touched. They were just close racing, side-by-side racing, and Brock just caught the cushion, and it's like he hit a button and it just flipped. Like literally, like you don't really see much, and then he's drifting, and then flip. There he goes. Tough break for Brock Zierfoss and quite a hit. And as they're coming around and they red flag, Jack Anderson's going into turn 1. He's swerving back and forth. That's not a good sign. When he's swerving back and forth, that means he's trying to get this car stopped. And then it looked like just a lot of stuff was coming out of the radiator, the engine portion, and Jack lost brakes. So 2 heartbreaks right there. I mean, to 2 guys who obviously deserve to be in the show. We'll start with Brock Zierfoss. We talked about it. Just very weird. I mean, just a very sudden flip that just sent him ricketing away.
You could kind of see him when he got up over it. The cushion was just so thick that it just kind of grabbed his right front and just turned him over.
Yeah. He got a wing full of dirty air too, and I did notice that he had the wing back a long ways. I noticed that when he was catching up to Jack, and cushion that tall. And did I lose?
You're good.
Lose me for a minute.
You're good.
You guys froze on my screen. But yeah, when you have the wing back, when you have the wing back that far, and you get a wing full of dirty air, it can definitely send you over the cushion. And like we talked about, it just kind of looked like he pushed the wrong button on the video game.
And then, Jack loses brakes. Jack said he lost brakes on lap 2. This is a 22-lap race. If we didn't get a caution, would he have been fine, Cade?
Absolutely.
So it was just, he knew right when the caution happened that it was done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we could kind of see him. I know we talked a little bit about it. It just didn't look quite like how Jack ran. And because it looked like he kept missing the bottom real bad, and he had to slide up. Well, come to find out, yeah, it's because he couldn't really hold it down. And I think he maybe even mentioned it in his post race little interview there that had he had brakes, he probably could have plugged it in the bottom. And I definitely think that he had a car capable, and he was capable of driving, and he's shown it. He was showing us that he was right there anyway. I know Chris Windham looked like he was really, really fading, and he ended up out of the transfer spot with Donnie sneaking in there, and just sucks, man. I know, Cade, you saw him after the race. That would have been so big for the team, and even if he could have just finished in 5th or 6th, that would have been a huge payday for those guys. And instead, they fall all the way down to the bottom, which is still good pay, but it's not what it could have been.
Yeah, and it's legitimately one wrong circumstance that took him out of it. If that was a yellow flag, I don't think he would have had to pull off. But like Blake said, when you have to swerve to stop, it kind of raises a red flag, and the officials are like, why is he doing that?
And it sucks for Jack, but it ultimately is the right call, because you can't be out there in case you need to miss somebody flipping in front of you. You have to be able to stop.
Yeah, and they did the same thing with Parker on Sunday at the Cappy too.
That's right.
If the world didn't know who Jack Anderson was before Saturday, they know who he is now. I think that's the big part of it. That, I mean, yes, it didn't end how Jack wanted it to, but eyes are all on him. He's going to win big shows. I cannot wait for his first 410 win. It's going to be unbelievable at Knoxville. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I'm so happy for him, just in that team. His time is coming. I don't know if it counts, but that Midwest Golf Carts machine was looking really good. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy for that whole team. And just a tough break for Jack. Yeah. But Brent Marks ended up getting to the lead late, ended up winning the B main. James McFadden is second, PPM is third, and Donnie Schatz. Schatz waited until the very last moment. When there was a restart late, he restarted 5th behind Wyndham. And everyone's like, oh, boy, here we go. And Donnie he never left the bottom. Looked like he was just trying to get it there. The car was not good. Like Donnie said that to Wade afterwards. He's like, the car stinks. I mean, the car's just not what it needs to be. Nowhere near where it needs to be. But Donnie got it done, and 27 straight A mains. That's a testament, man. I mean, I don't care who you are. The last couple of years especially, it has just not been – last 2 years, really. It just hasn't been the car that Donnie's needed. There's a lot of rumors flying around about what happens to Donnie after this year. Is he going to stay with Tony Stewart Racing? What happens to Donnie Schatz? But either way, 27 straight for Schatz. It's unmatched.
There's one of us here that has seen an A main that he missed in our lifetime. I think neither one of you guys have probably seen a Nationals or been alive for a Nationals A main that didn't include Donnie Schatz. That's damn impressive.
Yeah. Our A main, Ryan Timms breaks Kyle Larson's 100 straight lap lead streak. A lot of people are like, oh, what if Larson goes 9-1 in the first lap and tries to get it back? No, that didn't happen. I don't know about y'all, but we asked Ryan Timms on the stage earlier that I was like, are you thinking about turn 1, lap 1? I thought about turn 1, lap run that whole time he's coming to green, because he knew that. He knew he had to get a start. He had to clear Carson Macedo.
Because Macedo's really good on the starts. We've seen it.
Little did we know Ryan would nail every restart he had. But he was able to get away early. Corey Day literally got up to 3rd by turn 2, which I thought right then and there, I'm like, all right, here comes Corey Day. He's got a chance. He kind of snuck around there, and he challenged Macedo, but he just couldn't quite get there. What did you think, Kate, of the track surface? They obviously thinned it out, but it never went like way up to the wall. It was still a little like I don't know, estimate of how much off the wall it was. I thought for what it was, the track surface, the rain, everything else, we got the best track surface we were able to get.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the bottom was good enough to where if it was clear up around the fence like that, we would kind of have, sometimes we see it on our weekly shows where the top's too far around and the guys are kind of stuck running the bottom. And we didn't really see that on Saturday. I mean, they were running all 3 lanes, honestly. I think the only reason the top 5 or 6 cars didn't get shaken up right off the bat was because they were all so good. But Tim's was just absolutely gone. I mean, I think he ran 49 out of 50 perfect laps and didn't make a mistake on 49 of 50. The only one that he made a mistake on was the lap car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Were
and
you
that was a big oh shit moment. And
Yeah.
With regard to the track, Blake, I think when you have somebody that goes plus 18, who we'll talk about later, I think the track was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have talking points on that whole debate people have been having. But were you surprised, Kate? It was really bottom 1 and 2, top 3 and 4. Is that a testament to the whole ordeal? 1 and 2 get more sun than 3 and 4. Like, is that a thing? Do you think that was maybe a thing, or is that just kind of how the track worked in throughout the C, B, whatever?
Yeah, usually it's backwards from that. Normally you're on the bottom in 3 and 4 and on ripping the fence in 1 and 2. But the Duncans threw us for a loop again, gave us something we weren't quite expecting, and they put on a good show.
So Ryan Timms was gone. I mean, almost 4 seconds. Just nobody came close in the first part. There were big sliders back in the pack. The battle from second on back was just crazy. Everybody just kept doing. Corey Day almost got Navasito so many times in turns 3 and 4, but he didn't. He stayed away. He didn't want to completely get after him. And then just as they're coming to the caution, which that was another thing, like the caution isn't scheduled. It's just kind of halfway. So like technically, I think the caution happened with 24 to go, so nobody really knows. Timms threw a haymaker slider on Spencer Baston. I don't know if it was one in the making or if he was just like, I got to get around him now. Almost ruined his night. I mean, they made heavy contact, it felt like, and Baston went up and somehow didn't wreck the car. But did Timms tell us? I can't remember who he said. Maybe it was in the press conference. He's like, I got to go. Like, I'm going to run you over. I have to get going.
It looked like it.
It's kind of unbelievable. It was the biggest, like, ooh, moment that Ryan Timms held all night.
I actually don't even think that they touched. I think that Spencer was able to woe it up. But when I looked at it, I was like, oh my God, he's about to junk his shit coming to the halfway break. And kudos to Spencer for being able to get out of it, because that could have been, oh boy, that would have been really, really bad.
Yeah. Insane. Timms was leading at the halfway break. Carson Macedo, Corey Day, Logan Schuchart, and Rico Abreu. David Gravel had gone from 21st to 13th. It took Gravel about 10 laps. Like, Gravel had maybe one car in between him and Ryan Timms and was about to get lapped. And then I don't know if Gravel looked up at the board or whatever, which he said in the press conference he's not good at doing, like Kyle Larson. That's what he said in the press conference. But Gravel just took off. I mean, the car found a different groove about 10 laps into the race, so he took off, and then Gio was up 14th to 9th. I think everybody changed right rear tires under the fuel stop. Were you surprised by that, Cade? Obviously, we've seen the guy win it the last 2 years, Kyle Larson. They haven't changed right rear tires. You surprised that they did, or you thought it was just kind of one of those things?
Not really. It's honestly pretty normal, and it's really abnormal that Kyle has gotten away with not doing it the past couple of years, but that's also him leading the race and controlling the pace. When he starts ninth, he's not really in control of the pace, and he's got to be on kill every lap. So definitely not shocked that they changed the tire. I bet they might be wishing they didn't after what happened, but yeah, it's pretty normal to be switching a tire there.
Would you be concerned about any issues with a tire? I know that there was talk for a while about consistency problems with whether it be, just the material or the sizing or anything like that. Would that cross your mind at all?
I don't know. The 410 tires seem to be a lot better than like our 360 tires. They're not the same. They're a different compound, and apparently they're built different because ours are pretty junk. And the 410 guys will tell you that too. Like they race on way better tires that actually wear like they're supposed to. So I don't really think many of them would have been worried about it, but I don't know. Maybe some were.
Logan Schuchart, the big loser out of the caution break, got way up over the cushion in turns 3 and 4. There's a chance he might have had a car to contend with Ryan, but we never know, because he kind of lost the race right there. Just a big mistake over there. Got stuck behind a couple of guys. He dropped from 7th. Rico got into 4th, and then Gravel just kept moving very quickly on the restart. And Tim
real quick,
got away. Or go ahead.
Real quick, I think with what you just said there on Schuchart, I think that also goes back to what you said, Kate, is just how strong those top 5 cars were. Because I agree. I think Schuchart definitely early on showed that he had a car to contend, at least to maybe get somewhat close to Ryan. I don't think anybody was beating Ryan on Saturday, but I think that just shows that one mistake like that, it is so difficult unless you have the best car to just get back in, even to the top 5, honestly.
What did you guys think of Ryan Timms' line going into turn 1? It was a very different, like, he'd go middle, and like all year long, he wouldn't even go to the cushion. He'd catch middle, and then it just shoot right back down. Meanwhile, Macedo tried everything. Macedo went high, couldn't get a run. He went low, couldn't get a run. That car looked just like it had all season long.
Yeah, he was literally stuck anywhere that he wanted to go, and he talks about Shane being really good at his job, and Shane put it to work, and Ryan went out and proved it for him.
He took off again. Rico Abreu got past around Corey Day on lap 30. Then Corey just kind of kept stepping backwards just a little bit. Timms was again out to a big lead. There was a yellow on lap 33. Buddy Kofoid got around.
It looked like he hit the wall too. Do you think that they both got the fence?
Him and Baston got together, and again, Ryan Timms just so happened to be right there. I mean, it was just a really big spot. I don't know if we knew where Buddy was up to when he spun. Wasn't moving as much as he did, obviously, in his prelim night. But a tough break for them, and then it broke Baston's car. I mean, it was like leaning down on the left side. I want to touch on Spencer Baston real quick. That was it. That was Spencer Baston's last time in that Jason Myers Racing number 14. Sounds like it was mutual. We can take that as we will, obviously, with the statement that they put out, but Spencer Baston hasn't won a sprint car race since 2023. You just kind of knew it was coming. I mean, a lot of people were sometimes surprised that it didn't happen earlier. I think sounds like Spencer knew this was going to happen before Nationals at least, and then obviously all the merch goes on sale that Saturday. They're selling engines, and it sounds like Jason Myers just going right back down, and it's just going to be Corey Day in the car on a single basis. You can't let Corey Day go. That's just kind of the big end-all, be-all. But it sounds like they're getting no one to replace Spencer Baston.
I mean, it was kind of unsaid throughout the pit area for probably the last month, I'd say, unfortunately for Spencer. He's shown that he's a USAC champion, so he knows how to get stuff done. It's just been a real tough go of it, for the last couple of years. I mean, you said, 2023? So he's had a lot of bad luck. He honestly reminds me a little bit of Sawyer Phillips, the way he's had his year. It's like when stuff could go wrong for him this year, it definitely has, and just couldn't catch a break. There has been some other openings. Another one, KTJ, is out of the Hydebreeder 19. I know we didn't have that down here.
There.
Yep. So that, there are some openings. We'll see how that plays out, Cade. I know you're repping today.
Yeah. It's not really a shocker that he got let go. I am very surprised that they just shut the whole team down, though.
Same.
I don't know if money's getting a little tight or what with Corey not racing and winning all the money, but yeah, I was shocked to see that. And like you said, they're selling 4 engines and just getting rid of a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough break. I hope Spencer finds a ride soon.
Whether
that be back in a midget or what happens. He's a good dude. He's a really good dude. Him and his wife are great people, Aubrey, and you wish the best for him. Giovanni Scelzi at that caution and got up to the 7th position. I think Gio just started a little too far back to try to get something rolling just a little too much. Kyle Larson, this is the first time we've mentioned him so far, just a non-factor. I mean, just really didn't have the car I think he was looking for. You knew when he found out he was starting 9th, he just didn't like his chances. We'd later find out, obviously, we'll say here in a second, but he blew his tire. Rico was right there on Macedo. David Gravel just kept charging up to the front. With 10 laps to go, Tim's just kept going. I mean, you kept looking up and you're like, he's going to get stuck behind someone. He never got stuck behind anyone. I mean, he just kept opening it up to a full straightaway. I can't imagine what do you think Carson Macedo was thinking in the seat? Like, he's just like, I can't do anything. He's just going away.
Yeah, and that's frustrating as hell. I've been in that spot before, not for the Nationals, obviously, but it's just like, damn it, what do I have to do to get this kid wrangled back in?
And what do you do as a driver in that situation, Kate, to not be like, I got to keep trying different stuff, and then you end up screwing yourself and you end up falling back? Because he did end up falling to 4th out of 2nd. Could that have been a factor?
Yeah, for sure. You almost got to try, I don't know, like 3 or 4 laps worth of things and figure out what seems to work best for you. And then, just try to live by that.
Almost make a business decision, be like, I'm not catching this guy. Like, he's that far out. I need to almost protect 2nd.
Yeah, it almost goes to where, like, you're leading the race. You know what I mean? You kind of go into defense mode instead of trying to attack the whole time, because attacking with how fast Tim's was, I don't think attacking would have ever gotten back up to him.
Yeah. No. Gravel split Gio and Sheldon, 3 wide move for 6th. Again, just kept coming. I kept looking at lap times, though. I mean, he never was touching Tim's. I get he was in traffic, but I still don't think if Gravel would have gotten there, it would have been close. Rico's car came alive a lot in the last couple laps. He got to 2nd. And then with 4 laps to go, Kyle Larson blows a tire coming off of turn number 4. Second time in the last couple of years, at least last 4 or 5 years, Larson's blown a tire at the Nationals. The year he didn't win it, I think it was the year Donnie won it a couple of years ago. Donnie's last win at the Nationals, Knoxville Nationals win, blew a tire. And obviously with nothing to gain, he just pulled it in the infield. Just kind of summarized his night. I mean, he wasn't going to finish better than 6th, I don't think, maybe even 7th. And then Brad Sweet's engine also let go. Tough break for Brad, but I will say looked pretty good, all things considering, in the first week with that 9 team. They should be happy, I think, with what they got.
Yeah, that was a bad yellow flag there for Caitlin. That's got to be tough when hubby and your brother pull off at the same time and neither one of them can make it back out.
High limit went up in smoke there. So
was it you, Josh, that texted "Rip High Limit"?
Yeah, cannot confirm or deny, Blake. Yeah, I mean it's crazy. You're talking about being disappointed with only being able to maybe finish 6th at the Knoxville Nationals.
Yeah.
So, the expectations that we all have for young money are pretty crazy. I think that he still looked pretty good. It did not have the Kyle Larson feel that we've seen where honestly, he looked like Ryan Timms in the past. And it just didn't have it this year.
I will say this is the first time in a while that they did not get here for the June show. Usually he's here for that June Outlaw show, a couple more reps. He was here for the April show, and remember he made that daring charge up to the front and barely almost lost to Rico Abreu, but was not here for those 2 June shows. Don't know how much that played a factor, but
I almost put it as I think the guys were just better than
absolutely.
They still look good. He won his prelim night, so I think if you're in their shoes, you probably just tip your hat and say that they got us this time.
I'm sure everybody just kept thinking in the crowd, we got to restart with 4 laps to go. Everyone's like, there's no way Tim's going to do this, right? Like, somebody's going to get him on the restart. Macedo got a good restart. Like, he was right there. And again, Tim's just took off into 1 and 2. Rico and Gravel and Day and Macedo had an all-out brawl for 2nd. Rico got to 2nd. I think with 2 to go, the whole crowd erupted, but he had nowhere near enough time. Nor he probably didn't have the race car to get there. It is so crazy. I saw on TikTok a video of the final lap from the Outlaws perspective, Dirt Visionist perspective. There's nobody in camera. Like, it looks like Ryan Timms is on the track by himself that whole final lap because they don't zoom out far enough. It looks like it's just him. And the crowd was unbelievable. Like, I'll never forget him coming off turn 4. The whole crowd stands up with him. And Ryan Timms wins the 64th running of the Knoxville Nationals at 18 years old. You could call it an upset. You can't call it an upset. I don't know. You can do whatever you want. I think for the Knoxville people that were here, this is not an upset. This car has been the best car this season. He's now won 6 races at Knoxville in 1 year. I'd have to go back to the last time someone won that most. It's probably Brian Brown. But Brian Brown didn't win the Nationals. I can tell you that when he did win all those races. It's unbelievable. He just kicked the field's ass, and it was just insane to watch. Not just because of that team. That team doing that is unbelievable. But Ryan Timms at 16 years old had the biggest expectations in the world. Like, this kid was supposed to be the next Kyle Larson. He was the Corey Day, honestly, before Corey Day jumped on the scene. And then things just didn't go his way at 17 years old. Everyone's like, man, maybe this kid's just not it. And then he gets in a car for Shane Liebig, runs Knoxville Weekly, and boom, he wins the biggest race you can win in sprint car racing. And now everyone's like, oh, maybe Ryan Timms is legit. Couldn't happen to a better guy. Couldn't happen to a better team. And we'll take credit. A Knoxville local just won the Knoxville Nationals.
Yeah, it was really cool, man. I agree with you. I don't think anybody that was paying attention thinks that it's an upset. Maybe because he's not a 30-time outlaw winner or something like that. But
I never won an outlaw race coming into this.
Yeah, I never won an outlaw race, no high limit wins or anything
His
like that.
first outlaw win is the Knoxville Nationals.
Which is that's damn crazy, and I would be curious if that's ever happened before. I don't think it has, if I remember correctly, but it was just really cool. Like you said, he kicked their ass. We talked to. I really encourage people to go to our YouTube or Facebook and check out our interviews with him, but also especially with the car owner Shane Liebig. Like he said in that video, they were built for this shit, and they definitely showed it. It was we were at their trailer for a while after the races, and it was pretty cool just kind of soaking that moment in from afar and just watching all of that. We got to see Shane go kind of take a lap by himself to decompress a little bit after the races. And Kate, I think you're going to have some photos of that might come out later. And that is what the Knoxville Nationals is all about.
Yeah, and while you're back there watching those two interviews from the weekend, go back and watch the first one when we talked to him, when Josh and I talked to him at the races. He talks about not even being comfortable at Knoxville, even though he had already won a race by that point. And it's just crazy to hear him talk about that when we first talked to him, and then he goes out and wins the Knoxville Nationals, and the crowd was second to that Jason Johnson win.
Yeah.
For sure.
I had goosebumps when he got out, and I mean, just the crowd roaring when he was on top of the wing. It was really, really cool.
He did those donuts on the front stretch, and everybody lost their mind. I lost so badass as he did donuts on the front stretch. The crowd this week had so many big moments. I know we were sold out, but man, it felt like there were more people there in a way. From the Sammy Swindell moments, the crowd just lost their mind. Crowd lost their mind when Donnie Schatz made the feature. Just so many great moments. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. And I always go back and I think about, now when we look at the lists and we see the winners of the last 15 years, there's a lot of Lazowski. There's a lot of Donnie Schatz, a lot of Kinzer. And then the last couple of years, last 10 years, we're starting to see a little bit more parity. Donnie has still, I think, won the most here in the last 10 years. Larson's right there with 3, but Gravel's got 1. Sweet's got 1. And now Ryan Timms. And nothing against Ryan yet, but you put those names together, you're like, Ryan Timms. That's just insane. And that team. I mean, we won't go into whole specifics, but Ryan's dad was so fun to be around, and he's on the phone with all these big owners and these other guys. And, some guys, I think I brought it up to him. I'm like, Randy, some of these big guys, they don't have nationals. They still don't have a nationals, and they are dedicating their lives, their teams. They need one. They have to get one. And Liebig goes out and wins it. I wanted to ask Shane, obviously I didn't want to, the moment was big, but the drivers that led to that, like all the previous drivers he's had. I hate that Scott Boguski was not here this past week, but I truly wonder what it was like for Scott to watch that, knowing he was a piece in the puzzle for that 10 team that he won last year, made the Nationals last year in that car, and just how much that team has grown. It's the beginning. I mean, I tweeted it out last week or something like that or whenever, but the Ryan Timms autobiography is just starting, and chapter 2 or chapter 3 is already probably the best chapter we've seen. And he's hungry. He wants a King's Royal. He's, bring it on.
He told us, unfortunately, Blake, you weren't there. But thankfully, we got a lot of time from Ryan this year with him being at Knoxville, and he was very gracious with his time, even leading up to Saturday night, because he was on our live show with us right before we had Tanner Holmes as well. I did see Brian mention Scott was actually at the Nationals. I did see him the last couple nights. He was definitely there on Saturday. But it was. He's 18 years old. He told us earlier this year, Cade, that he wants to be an outlaw. So he's accomplished that at 18 years old, which is wild to think of what I was doing at 18. It was not that. I mean, he's got his whole career ahead of him. And like you said, Blake, we're just really in innings 1 or 2 here of what his sprint car career looks like.
The rut in his career was when he was 17.
Yeah.
As of right now, like his worst year was when he was 17. It's like, no, it's not a worst year. It's called you're growing up. And I don't know. And Larson, Gravel, Brown, first to him to congratulate him.
That was really
I thought
cool.
we were going to have a Dale Earnhardt moment. I thought everyone was going to come out on the road and start high-fiving and stuff. I'm like, yeah.
Goes to show how much respect he has and the kind of guy he is as well. I mean,
nobody
we know
was
that.
unhappy that Ryan Timms just won the national.
No. And it's crazy that an 18-year-old just took home a check with his name on it for $195,000.
Won $209,000 just that night, not including whatever he got for his prelim night. But
because he Mr. Sprint Car, I would have to assume.
Yes, he was. So really cool. We still have a little bit more we want to go over. I just want to read through here our top 24. So Ryan Timms is your winner. Rico Abreu finishes second. He's close, man. And Rico said in the press conference, "My time is coming." Rico will win the Knoxville Nationals. It's just a matter of time. Obviously, he picked up his 360 Nationals win, and he podiums both. I'm sure that's heartbreaking for him. But him and Ricky Warner should not hang their head for what they've done this year at Knoxville. Maggie said it to me, Cade, and I think she had a good point. Are more teams going to go this Ricky Warner, Rico Abreu route, you think, and try to get here more during the regular season?
It depends if they're on the World of Outlaws or not.
Yeah. That is also true. But do you see that becoming if we want to get better, we have to go to the sprint car capital of the world to try to get better. We're not just going to show up and be better unless we're Kyle Larson or David Gravel.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely could see some more cars showing up every now and then, especially like say 4 weeks before Nationals. I could see a lot more cars coming from what they were racing to try to get some more laps before Nationals. And honestly, that's probably the best thing you can do, because around that time, our track gets to be about like it is for Nationals. So, definitely wouldn't be shocked to see some of these guys start showing up.
I mean, first and second had, what was it, Blake? 8, 9, 10 wins at Knoxville this year?
Tim's has got 6 and Rico's got 4 or 5. So, 9, 10. Yep.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And then Gravel. I mean, top 3.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
So, what? 4 out of the top 6 all won at Knoxville this year. So, I don't know. You tell me. I feel like I'm not one with trends and stuff, but something tells me there's a correlation there. Don't tell me there's no passing in sprint car racing. David Gravel goes plus 18 to finish third. Can we touch on this real quick? Sorry, we're going through this, but I got points that I want to touch on. 3 years in a row, boys, the leader, the pole sitter, has led every single lap of the Knoxville Nationals. It's been now 11 straight years that the Knoxville Nationals champion has not come out from outside of third. Sue me. The cars are really good.
I thought the format sucks, Blake.
Yeah,
seems like the fast cars start up front and they, are good and they win from the front.
I was told the cream does not rise to the top. Is that this format is way too hard. It's not good enough. Cade, cars are so good. Cars are so good. They're getting better. The best of the best you'd expect to lead all 50 laps.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's crazy that people think that the Knoxville format is skewed towards not the fast guys, because the fast guys are always winning the prelim nights, and it's not very often. Even in the last 10 years, I can't hardly think of one. I mean, Trey Starks wasn't he wasn't really like a nobody by any means, but to see him win a prelim night was freaking crazy. Yeah. But aside from that, there's really not that many guys that you go, oh yeah, I'm really shocked that he won tonight.
I feel like the biggest thing, or the biggest time that comes out is, if somebody doesn't make it out of the B, or if they, don't make it out of the heat race. But I don't remember who said it, because we talked to so many people, but it's like the Knoxville Nationals should be hard, period.
Yeah.
Shane Stewart.
Yeah. How could I forget? It was Shane. I think even, I think Matt Morrow, when we were talking, they had an eventful week. We were talking to him, and he also said the same thing. This is the biggest event of the year, and it should be difficult.
Yeah. So David Gravel goes 21st to 3rd. He shut people up. I can tell you that. I mean, he did what he wanted to do. And obviously he made enemies. Sammy Swindell got Sammy Swindell going. But David Gravel backed it up. He can walk the walk because he can talk the talk. So shout out David Gravel. Carson Macedo finishes 4th. I know they would love to see a win after starting on the front row, but they can't not be happy with the speed they had. Logan Schuchart is 5th. Corey Day is 6th. Corey Day was the only person in the field besides Ryan Timms who just didn't move. Started 6th, finished 6th. Yeah, which is just crazy. Giovanni Selzy recovers for seventh, goes +7. Again, same thing with 360 Nationals. Just, I think if they could have put the whole week together, Gio's going to win a race on this high limit schedule the rest of the year. That 7BC is fast enough. Gio's going to do it. I'm excited.
He looks refreshed, motivated in that situation. You could tell.
Seems happy. I think he's getting things back rolling. Garrett Williamson goes +3 to finish 8th. I'm so happy for Garrett. Obviously, we talked to him.
Awesome.
I caught him afterwards. He was just cheesing. He was smiling. Him and Cam were very happy. That's a great run for Garrett. Again, it's these races where it doesn't count toward the Rookie of the Year points, but man, he shows up in the big time races, which is awesome. We had a great chat with him about Husitz on our stage show, so go back and check that out. Austin McCarl, in a race, this is usually Austin goes backwards. When he makes the Nationals, he went forward. Austin should be very happy with the equipment that he's brought. Austin McCarl finishes 9th. Sheldon Hodenshield keeps it running. I saw Eric Arnold kept it going, but this is like 6 straight top 10s in the Nationals for Sheldon Hodenshield.
Yeah, we've got it. The last 6. You nailed it, Blake.
Yeah. So, I mean, credit to them. I mean, when you think of Sheldon, you're like, is he a Nationals threat? Maybe not, but man, he's going to be consistent and he's going to bring home the money and he's going to do what he can do. So shout out to Sheldon. Donnie Schatz went +9. Wasn't quite the fast rocket ship we've had for Donnie Schatz, but when is he not going forward? Truly, when is he not going forward? Very strong run for him.
You mentioned it earlier. He wasn't happy after the B.
No,
I didn't quite hear everything, but he was animated, and I knew that they were going to be making some wholesale changes. And a little sidebar, I've never seen somebody so amped up to miss the Knoxville Nationals than Linton Jeffrey. He came over and was so jacked up for Donnie Schatz. He was way more excited than Donnie was that Donnie had locked in for the 27th straight time. Was he running Vortex
Wings? Is that what?
Always is.
Yep. I know Linton. That gets Linton pretty excited. That's awesome.
I think I saw him saying that it's the mother effing Knoxville Nationals. So yeah, he was very excited for Donnie.
It's a Catalina wine mixer.
Brent Marks out of the B finishes 12th. A great run for Brent Marks. I liked his car. It was a very nice car.
Yeah, it was
good
cool.
looking paint scheme. Cam Martin, your Rookie of the Year for the Nationals. Boy, Cam was on cloud 9. Finishes 13th, +2 from where he started. Nothing against Cam. Nobody would have bet that. I think a lot of people probably would have bet he would have just started the race and went backwards. Cade's got a picture of him passing Donnie on the inside, which is probably he's gonna have to send it to Cam because that's
for
what Cam
sure.
said. He's like, I passed Donnie on the inside. Unbelievable. So happy for Cam.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
And he was a great sport. We did a Jetco trailer talk with him during the 360 Nationals where he had a great run there as well. Hell of a couple weeks for Cam. Like he was repping Team Knoxville really well. But he did a Jetco trailer talk with us with Gabe and Susie, which was really, really cool. I know that they were really, really excited for that. So go back and make sure you check that out too.
Justin Peck was 14th. Emerson Axum was 15th. Glad to see Emerson Axum make the show. Obviously went backwards -7, but still good to see that for Emerson Axum. PPM is 16th. James McFadden 17th. Cole Macedo is 18th. Kyle Larson credited with 19th from the DNF. Brad Sweet DNF'd. Buddy Kofoid DNF. Spencer Basin DNF'd. Darren Pittman pulled it in, and then Bill Baylog went a lap down. He pulled it in as well just to kind of save equipment. Thanks again to Bill for chatting with us earlier this week. That made my heart very happy.
Right before his birthday. It was his birthday like 30 minutes later, which was cool.
For those that notice, I do have something up on the wall. Oh, there's Kate too. I guess I was blocking Kate most of the time, but I do have some new stuff on the wall back behind me, so that's very cool. Yeah, it was awesome. We talked about the crowd. The crowd was unbelievable. It was really cool. I'm pretty sure we had so many campers. That's why we lost power at the Hall of Fame and Rib Shack. I think we were blowing breakers. It was unbelievable, man. The concourse was just so busy. I mean, just so busy. Even on Wednesday, we might have to find more room or something. I don't know. I mean, because people want to come to this event.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like Tuesday or Wednesday of 360 Nationals. I was like, looking out the door like, holy cow, there's a lot of people here already. And then it just never stopped.
It was unbelievable. I guarantee in the next couple of years, you'll start seeing Friday sell out, and then you'll start seeing, I bet the whole week. I mean, maybe in 15, 20 years, the whole week sells out.
Yeah.
People just love this, and as for good reason. And in the age of social media, I scroll through TikTok. There are so many videos about, what I ate at the Knoxville Nationals, what there is to do, all this stuff. It's awesome. It's awesome. You have these two down. Josh, we kind of touched on him, but Cam Martin was your Rookie of the Year, Jetco Rookie of the Year honors. How fitting. I feel like that was very fitting that it's brought to you by Jetco, and that Cam was able to do that for us. Anything else we want to touch on that? Just very cool for Cam.
Yeah, it was just really cool. And we also have Jack's breaks going out. We touched on that as well. It would have been cool seeing those guys being able to race it out in the A main of the Knoxville Nationals, but just wasn't meant to be for Jack this year. That's not going to be the only time that he's in that position, though. Like we already talked about, it's going to be fun when, not if, he finally gets that first 410 feature win there. It's going to be absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and I've known Jack his entire life, and I will promise you one thing: all that's going to do is light a giant fire under his ass.
We've got one more race this year. Don't count him out.
He's going to be on full sin.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. I mean, we already know who our champions are, so we're just here to race. That's going to be a fun one. Team Knoxville showed out. Ryan Timms, champion. Randy was all over it. His dad, he was like, a lot of Knoxville guy, a Knoxville regular. He
was in utter disbelief.
Yeah, first Knoxville regular since Doug Wolfgang in the mid-'70s to really just do it. Awesome for Ryan Timms. Austin McCarl finishes 9th. And Cam Martin finishes 13th all week long. Good showing by the Knoxville regulars in and out. I mean, just awesome stuff. We like to see it. Couple Eric Arnold stats. He's been throwing them out today. Ryan Timms is officially the second youngest Knoxville Nationals winner behind Kenny Weld, who was 18 years, 9 months, and 4 days old, just barely 2 months older than Ryan Timms. Kenny started on the pole, won the race, and guess what he did the next year? He went out and won it again. So maybe a good omen for what will happen for Ryan Timms going forward. Carson Macedo and Jason Johnson Racing have now not finished out of the top 5 in 3 straight years, 5th, 4th, and 4th. Is he? I mean, way too early prediction for next year, but I'd say Carson Macedo is going to be right there. Obviously, it's going to happen, and I think a lot of people want to see Macedo get it done for him to have it.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, he's going to be a contender. He's proved that many times. And like you said, him and Phil are not going to stray away from trying their hardest, and he's a really good crew chief, and Carson's a really good driver, obviously. So it's bound to happen, and their talents are going to combine one day, and it's going to be kind of like what we saw this weekend. I have a feeling.
I agree. Yeah, he's shown that he can win at Knoxville. I mean, that car, we know what it can do. So we're in for a really exciting future, because we could go down the list of guys that have been knocking on the door. He's just one of them, many.
Yeah, I mean, the easiest one is David Gravel. The fact Gravel has not won since JJR.
What's interesting? While we're on this topic, we actually just got a question from Dustin. Do you think this will be a one and done for Ryan, or do you think he could kind of reel off a little Larson or Donnie Street if he stays together with the Liebig? I'll just go ahead and jump in front. I think if he stays with that team, I think sky's the limit. The way that they've been as dominant as they've shown this year.
It's hard to win back to back. Only the very, very, very best have done that. Obviously, Larson, Schatz, Kinzer. It's hard to win back to back. But at 18 years old, I'm with Josh. I think the sky's the limit for Ryan. I can tell you right now, it's not fair to Ryan, but when they show up next year, no matter what, there probably will be people that'll circle back around and say, maybe last year was just kind of a fluke. Maybe it was just everything went well, and it shouldn't be. I mean, he is one of the best right now, and he will continue to be. Heck, I'd throw him up there. He could win the Chili Bowl this year, honestly. But I mean, I think he could. I really think he could. And we've seen history repeat itself many, many times. That maybe this is the start of something really cool for Ryan Timms and them.
And we've talked about it. We've talked about it several times too. He's way underrated for what he is for a talent.
He just won the Nationals. He's still going to be underrated, no matter where.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah, anybody thinking that it's a fluke or that it was a fluke was just sleeping through the whole year because you just aren't paying attention.
I do wish he would, in all honest, will he probably be back as a regular next year? No, he'll probably be on the road or something. I'd love for him to come back because I think he could win a track championship. I know they just struggled, and Shane told us that at the beginning when we interviewed him. He's like, man, we just didn't have a good start, and that's what put them behind the 8 ball. But yeah, I think, and they flipped at the Kings Royal. That was just kind of out of their control. And yeah, I think this might be the start of something here. But like I said, parity has been the name of the game the last couple of years for all things considering. So I don't know. We'll just have to keep on watching. But maybe there's someone else out there that, is just kind of flown under the radar. Timms, I can tell you right now, nobody, you're lying if you said Ryan Timms is even going to make the A feature last year at this time. If you would have told hey, Ryan Timms is going to win the Nationals last year, you're like, yeah. No.
Coming into this year is a different topic than coming into the Nationals for sure, because we even talked about that, me and Cade, with him earlier this year, that it was a struggle, and he was down in the dumps there for a while. And man, it just goes to show that if you're persistent and you stick with it and you get hooked up with the right people who, work very, very well together. I just said it, but the sky is really the limit.
Yeah. Last thing we had on here, Darren Pittman joined an elite club. 20 A-main starts for Darren Pittman. Dude's only got like 3 wins in Knoxville in his life, which is just crazy. But really cool to see that for Darren Pittman. He was the oldest guy, I think, in the show on Saturday. So yeah, really cool. Shane Stewart has a really good perspective on Darren Pittman when we talked with him. Steve has got 35, Sammy's got 34, Donnie's got 27, Danny Lazowski's got 28, Terry's got 22, Stevie 21, Shane's got 20, Paul's got 20, and Darren's got 20. So elite company for Darren Pittman.
Absolutely.
Well, boys, what a week. What a 2 weeks. Next year, count down the days, 360 plus days. Actually, it'd be 369 right now because
Nice.
we move it back a week. The championship night's going to be on August 15th next year. We move everything back. We are still on the same week as the Ironman for the 360 Nationals. I'm not really sure how that worked out, but we are still on the same week as the Ironman.
Of course.
So I'll be very curious. I tell you what, though, the 360 Nationals is just going to keep growing, man, especially after what we saw this year. Yeah, I'll be very curious. But what a time, man. We come back. We get a week off. We get to breathe a little bit. I still got English Creek, so we'll still go down and hang out down there. But we get to breathe a little bit, and then we're back. But I don't know about y'all, but I was checking Dirt Tracker and being like, when's the next sprint car race on? I'm ready to watch sprint cars again.
Already. You got any of those sprint car races?
Yeah, you got any?
I think in the off week we're still going to be back. We'll see. Leave us a comment. I want to see what you guys think of this live stuff. It might be something that we try to do a little bit more often. But I think we're going to get Jack Anderson's going to be on with us in the off week. So we have a lot to talk about with him for sure.
Yeah.
He did join us on stage, on the Dirt Vision stage during the Nationals, which was really cool. It wasn't part of the schedule, but we had to get him on because of how his week was going.
We should bring him on for the whole show, honestly. I mean,
it'd be fun.
Let him run through it. He'd have good perspective on 360 stuff. And yeah, I think
we don't have any Knoxville racing to talk about. So I think he will be the whole show.
Yeah.
We got him all nice and buttered up to get him warmed up for a full pod.
Mr. Big Time. I was calling him Mr. Big Time the whole week.
I'm pumped for this West Coast swing. There are so many good tracks out in California that just do not get the spotlight on them. Gold Cup's going to be coming up soon. It's awesome. This is one of my favorite times post Nationals to see all this stuff coming out. So yeah, stick around, man. We're gonna have a lot to talk about.
It's not good for our Whoop recoveries.
Yeah,
there, Kate, but
I
just got to make sacrifices.
Yeah. And we get Houston's back this week. We get Jackson this week on Friday night. So there'll be a lot going on.
For sure.
Kate's got flies buzzing around him. So I think
I do. I got a light that's all trippy over here.
End us out.
Yeah. Well, we're going to wrap it up here. Like I said, if you did enjoy this, leave us a comment. We're really curious to hear what you guys think. Next Saturday, the 23rd, is going to be the McKay Group Season Championship Night. Sucks. We're wrapping up the 2025 sprint car season. We do have one more weekend. It will be the Late Model Nationals. It'll come up in mid-September. We'll get to that. I think we're going to try to do something for that. We're not late model guys by any means, but we will do our best.
Late model guys.
Yeah, we might need to bring in some reinforcements, get some fender guys on here. But just a few more thank yous. I wanted to send out thank you a lot to David Goodson with Impact Signs, Awnings, and Wraps for jumping on and kind of becoming the presenting sponsor of the show for the rest of the season. John Whitaker and everybody at Jetco for Also doing the same thing for our trailer talks. That was not something that we planned on doing to start this season. But I posted earlier on Twitter that I think that those were some of the more fun things that we've done, catching up with guys in the pits, immediately getting reaction. Those were received really well as well. So want to thank those guys and thank everybody at Knoxville, that helped get us on the Dirt Vision stage during the Nationals. I don't know about you guys, but that was pretty freaking cool and not something that I'm going to forget anytime soon. It was a blast being up there with you guys.
Yeah, it was. And thanks, Alan Hansen. I'm sure you were going
of course, Alan Hansen.
My goodness,
HV Productions. We would not have been live or had any sort of production like we had without that guy.
It would have been on the phone, on Facebook, on a tripod.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And a huge shout out to David for his new position at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame.
President of the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame Museum. Yeah. Such a cool honor to do that. I know it's in really good hands, with everybody that's involved with keeping that place running. I know we're past the Nationals now, but if you're in town next time for the Nationals, make sure you make a stop over there because checking out the history of the sport, got to keep that going, especially with the youngsters as we bring more young fans into sprint car racing. Make sure you do that. Cade, we recapped your 360 Nationals. You're going to be back next year as well. We're going to freaking win that best appearing car thing as well.
We better.
So.
Car's going to look great next year. Maybe see the sponsors on board. Be a rejuvenated Cade Higday. Sophomore slump is over. We're coming back strong.
Get rid of the flies.
We'll reach out to Cade. Yeah. If you're interested in sponsoring, hit up Cade. He's got his merch available at Shop Track Threads. I'm not sure. Do you know the website off the top of your head? I'm doing a really bad job of plugging this. I don't. I actually think it's shoptrackthreads.com.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think it might be.
I get things right every once in a while.
Quick search here.
They got a lot of good gear. Obviously, they were churning them out.
Gotta shout them out.
Sammy Swindell shirts were quick this week.
That was very quick.
Good job, Josh. It is.
There you
Shop
go.
Track Threads.
That's right. Yeah, they were putting in the hours. And thank you to everybody that came up and said, something about the show to us. It was pretty surreal.
Too many to count.
For real. And it was every day. So, thank you guys. If you want some of our merch, we do have it available. We have some shirts, hoodies, stuff, KnoxvilleKnights.com.
I think we're going to try to get one in red for those that are red lovers.
We did. I have to bring this one up
here.
We got to bring this up. Blake was in home red tonight. So thank you guys for picking up on that. Blake loves that.
I'm making a movement. There is a movement going on at Knoxville Raceway.
We may or may not have a shirt for Blake soon that says, "This is my red shirt." That might go up on the website too. We'll see about that. We're going off the rails now, so we'll wrap it up. Like I mentioned before, make sure you're following us on all the socials. It's at Knoxville Knights, except for Twitter, where it's at Knoxville Knights with no O. I'm at Josh_Gerlach. He's at Cade Higday, and then Blake is at Blake_Walker8. We'll be back with Jack next week. Otherwise, we'll just have one more race week. We will see all you guys next time.